It's not often you hear someone say, too many students came out to vote, but that was the case on the campus of Indiana University during this year's election. Thousands of IU students made their way to the polls to cast their ballots for the election. Many polling locations were set up all around Indiana's campus, but the most popular location was at Indiana's Memorial Union. I am standing in front of the IMU where throughout the day hundreds of IU students came out to cast their votes. This year's election was a big one for the state. Democratic Senator Joe Donnelly was looking to get re-elected, but that wasn't the case as Republican candidate Mike Braun came out victorious. With Donnelly's defeat, the last traces of the Obama victory in 2008 are gone, making Indiana a red state. But that wasn't what created the buzz in Monroe County. Due to higher than expected voter turnout, multiple polling locations across the county ran out of ballots, and the IMU on the Bloomington campus was one of those locations. Officials had to extend closing by up to an hour due to the lack of ballots.
Today, though, from the moment the poll opened, I've been just rushed. And then we've had a record amount. I've had more provisional ballots than I had almost voters last year. So it's been pretty incredible how many kids actually showed up. And we still have a line all the way from here to Ballantyne. So I don't think it's stopping. And I talked to Election Central, and they actually said that we're going to keep these polls open until every single student gets their vote counted for.
The unprecedented student turnout in Bloomington could have been the outcome of the Big Ten Voting Challenge, a competition with other Big Ten schools to see who can bring out the most voters. The winning school is presented a trophy by the Big Ten. Many campus volunteers were helping in and around the polling locations to assure that every student who wanted to vote was able to. Students around the polling locations also criticized the school for lack of advertising for the event, but applauded the work of student volunteers who they believe were the real reason why the student outcome was as large as it was.
Because I didn't know our voting location until I saw a flyer. So I mean, although flyers do help a lot, but the chances are we're always constantly busy, so it's hard to just catch one on the side of your eye. I think it was more so all the advertisements we've seen about voting and just people encouraging as opposed to IU. But collectively, the students are the ones who probably made the biggest impact, not the school itself.
Eager IU students are waiting to see if this year's record-breaking poll numbers will be enough to make them the Big Ten Voting Challenge winners. It was quite a hectic scene at the IMU later on in the day when voters found out about the lack of ballots. But with extended voting times and the help of the Monroe County Election Board and other volunteers, every student was able to make their voice heard. From Bloomington, Indiana, I'm Iv Menache.